So Is God is about a pair of twin sisters who are orphans. They don't know the story of their past. They have these mysterious burn scars, and they're not sure of the origins of those scars. One day they get a letter from their mother, and she reveals to them what their history is and sends them on a mission. So it's about these two young women who are the heroes at the center of a story where they're really trying to come into being by way of this mission. Racine, one of the characters in the movie, when she receives a letter from her mother and is called to her mother's side, because she's not had any kind of family, any kind of anchoring, she thinks of her mother as the beginning of herself. So she calls her God. Her sister, of course, says she's gonna get struck down. She's like, not with it. But to Racine, she looms so large and is such an important force, and it has everything to do with why Racine wants to go on this mission, the way that she regards her mother. And it's also a question, I think, more for Anaya. It's like, who is this person? She has a lot of doubts about what they're doing and why they're doing it. So I just, I took a look at that play, and I knew that I was writing something for the screen, and the rules are not wholly different, but they're different rules, right? There are things you can do on the stage that you can't or maybe shouldn't do in a film. So I was really conscious of like how much I could let the image do the work when it came to the film, how the level of proximity and intimacy we could have with the characters because of the nature of working with a camera was different to the play. So I didn't need some of the aspects of the play. The play is more talky, which works in the theater and which you need in the theater, right, to fill that space differently. So I just, took a good look at the play, thought about what would just deepen, maximize the story, what the strongest version of it could be for the screen, and wrote in that direction. These two actors are incredible, and I can't wait for people to see their work. Mallory is perfect to be the first person to conjure Anaya for the screen. Because I needed Anaya not to be sort of a just head down, sad girl. Like she's got so many more colors than that. And I was sort of insistent that there is grief, right? There are things that she's mourning. But she's got fire, she's got a spark, and she's insisting on having a full bodied life. And Mallory was able to hold all of that. She also has tremendous emotional like capacity. She could go in every direction that this character goes. And Mallory had to act through a prosthetic, this burn on her face. So I needed someone who could carry all of those balls beautifully with grace, and also handle a really quick shoot, also with patience and love. And yeah, she's incredible. And she also had to hold it down. Both these women had to hold it down with each other because they're both so strong with Kara Young. And Kara was amazing, incredible as Racine, because Racine she's a tough girl. She's got a lot of rage, but she also has a lot of love. And again, there's a lot of grief and so many different colors and dimensions to her. And I needed someone who could play all of that. I needed somebody who could felt a little dangerous, right? And Kara embodied that dangerousness, I think, beautifully. So Sterling, I mean, what can I say? He's incredible. He was exactly right for this role because I needed someone who looked, charming, seemed like the kind of person you would be very safe around, so that we could have these surprises about his character. It also, is a bit of a nod to how Once Upon a Time in the West, the villain was somebody who lived in the consciousness as Henry Fonda was like a good guy all the time. And I think taking Sterling, who's a good guy, and making him another kind of guy was just a fun choice. He was amazing. Janelle Monáe is so beautifully right in the pocket for the character that she plays, Angie. And I mean, she does work, and she works so well. She just, again, there's so much nuance. She's a woman who is harmed, and she's a woman who causes harm. So I needed someone who could play both sides of that honestly, and I needed someone who, was just rooted and had emotional accessibility, could play the colors of this woman who'd survived the things that she survives. Erica Alexander is a force, and she's hilarious. She's just a hilarious person who could play all the humor that was needed for Divine, the size of that character, but also, again, gave her such heart and really wanted to understand and make sure that the audience understands that this woman is in pain, that the root of so much of what she's doing is the pain of her rejection. Vivica Fox, the icon. She just like to play a character of such size. I mean, I was audacious enough to name her God. I needed someone who could match that audacity, but with honesty and with detail, and someone who would be absolutely dropped in, and someone that folks would buy as larger than life. I think also the way she exists in the cultural consciousness because of Set It Off and like Kill Bill and these roles that we've played and the way that we've seen her, it just felt absolutely right, and it was.